What you're going to see in a few minutes is my old glasses and this sweater getting worked on. This is the Big Bow Cardigan from Interweave Crochet. I believe this was a 2010 pattern they put out. I've always loved it. I've always wanted to make it, and I finally did. So you need worsted weight yarn. I used Juniper Moon Farms cotton merino shadows in peridot, which makes like a cool sort of neon effect, like gorgeous yarn. Comes in a bunch of colors. And then you need an H hook, and then you're going to do an absolute fuck ton of back loop only single crochet, starting from the right sleeve and working across. So the rest of the video will go into the details and also talk a little bit about the fact that I added a pencil skirt because sometimes that happens. So enjoy. All right, we're in awkward angle city because I don't usually film from the couch, so I don't have a great setup. But that's okay. We can make this work. Hi, Miss Bean. Miss Bean's about to climb into my lap, I think. So anyway, I have finished the right front and right sleeve. And this is all done in one piece. From the start of the sleeve to the buttonholes. And I'm just trying to get... Aha, there we go. It's a little weird to work with because it's so weirdly shaped right now. Okay, but basically, here is the right sleeve. You start on the right sleeve, you work your way in, and then you add chains and foundation single crochet to add the length for this back piece and also for the front off the sleeve. And then you work that, and then as you're coming up the front, as indicated in the pattern, you do 23 stitches, so you have 22 neck stitches, and then you work that piece back and forth, and then you finish off with the buttonholes. And this is the keyhole for the scarf to come through, so it's larger than the other buttonholes. That's noted in the pattern. I'm just pointing it out. And after you do that, you fasten off and you put it aside, and you make the beginning of the left front, which is 8 rows of back loop only single crochet, nothing fancy. And then you leave a loop so that you can pick it up again in a little bit, because what's going to happen after these is I start the back collar and more of the back piece. And I do that by starting the collar piece. So I'm going to work 23. I'm going to turn, work 22 down because that is the size of the collar. And then I'm going to attach somewhere on the neck. I'm not 100% sure where on that. Maybe right there. I don't know. I'm going to look at the schematic again, because there is a schematic to kind of understand where to attach. But attach and then work down, and that's going to give me the rest of the back and bring it around to the left side. And in the end, what's going to happen is the collar will be split on the back, and then you do sew it together at the very end. So I'm going to start working on that, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is the collar I've already done. This is the beginning of the back collar per instructions. And then what I have done, again, per instructions, let me get my hook out of the way, is I have come in and I have joined, if I can get that to focus in here, I have joined on the neck edge right next to the previous stitch. So this is the previous neck piece, and then I joined the beginning of the back of the neck in the stitch next to it, and now we will be working our way down that floppy back bit and then working back up, and that is going to be how we do the back. my, let me see if, there we go. Zooming in definitely helps. Okay. So there's the previous neck. This is the new part of the neck in the next stitch over, and then working down the side of the back. So, back to it. I got in the groove and I started the next section after I finished the back section, but I can show you all the parts. So, from this sleeve here to here, and then this, that is the right side and the front. And then from here to here is the back side with the rest of the collar. This will seam up when I'm done. And then what this is, this right here was the left front. And you work a row down and then you pick up on the back. You skip all of these stitches here. You skip the collar stitches, you join, you work. And that is the part I am on now. And I am doing all of this while there is still, let me see. Yeah, that skein is still connected because you hold on to it until you finish the left side, because that skein will come back and become the scarf, and because you do need to be able to easily count and drop your stitch in right there without the scarf getting in the way. They do it at the end. So that's where I am. I'm a little over halfway on the rows I need to finish this chunk. And then after the left side is complete, not the left sleeve, just sort of the left side, you fasten off and you join and you do the other sleeve, and then you do the two pieces of the scarf. I might actually do the piece of the scarf before the sleeve because it's 108 rows at 22 stitches, so those will be pretty fast, and then I won't have to do them last and have them bug me. Back to it. Hey, I am super excited. The buttons got here. Aren't those gorgeous? So I got these glittery buttons off of Etsy, and I chose this glitter because it's got the little blue pieces and then all the other colors, so I think they're really going to pop. I think it's really going to go with the vibe of the yarn as well, which is very exciting. And if you're making the larger sizes, I can't remember if it's just the last size or maybe the last two sizes, you need 7 buttons, not 6. And it says that in the pattern, but it always helps to hear things, at least for me. And I will put down in the basement a link to the listing and also the exact glitter I chose, because the listing is for custom glitter buttons and there are a ton of options. The seller was great. Probably the next time I know what size buttons I need, I will just go back and get more glitter buttons. The seller also has other buttons. I just, glitter buttons. Anyway, so that's awesome. I can get them on the sweater right now, but I can't finish the sweater yet because I miscalculated. I got enough yarn for the smallest size. I'm making the size up from that. I need about a little over 100 yards of yarn. And the thing is, if I could just pop to the local, grab a skein, come home, I wouldn't love it because I don't like having half skeins lying around. Like, I don't do a lot with leftover half skeins. It's just not, like, some people do amazing stuff with, like, their leftovers. I am not one of them. Unless it's like, I've got 3 skeins left over because I overestimated, like, not my bag, basically. But I went to the Juniper Moon website to see who in Pittsburgh stocks them. There's a few different stores, but only one of them has the actual one I need listed on the website. The others don't have, like, a shopping area, which, you do you. And I was like, oh, this is actually kind of great because the place that has the yarn is McWalker Yarns, which is on the North Shore. I've been meaning to go there for a while. They don't have my color in stock. Bless them. Oh my God. Yeah, so they don't have the color I need. although they do sell it. It's sold out because it's awesome. So I'm like, well, I don't know how long it's going to take to get back in stock. And Charlotte Yarn, where I originally bought it, has it in stock. But I don't want to just buy a single skein and have to have it shipped. So I am going to buy enough yarn to make a pencil skirt to go with the sweater. And for the pencil skirt, I will be using my pencil skirt pattern. Here you go. For those who might not know, this is actually version 2. Version 1 was a closed waistband and ended up on the front page of Ravelry, which is nuts. And this was way back. This was several years ago when this channel was still called Eradihate. I had done a video tutorial of how to do the pencil skirt. And I had some people be like, hey, what about a zipper? And I was like, you know what? A zipper would be a great idea. And so this pattern includes instructions on how to add a zipper so that it's easier to get it out of your fitted pencil skirt because it's made to your measurements, or in this case, my measurements. And I actually wore the pencil skirt in the pattern photo the other day to work. Fits perfectly still. Oh my god, I did such a great job, you guys. And I love making this pencil skirt because I've made it so many times. It's a really easy project for me. Like, it's single crochet and then a lot of double crochet with raglan increases. But then also there are some decreases if you want like the tight butt fit. And what I need to do is look at the skirt I just wore and see how many times I decreased onto my butt, because I know how many times I increased to get over my butt. But if you decrease too much under your butt, you get the little wiggle walk, which is fun, but it makes it very hard to go to the bathroom because you got to like wiggle all the way out of your skirt, rather than just, be able to hold it up like you do a skirt. So I want to make sure I don't overdo the decreases. And since I have a skirt that fits me exactly like I wanted to, and I can still walk like a person instead of like a sexy cartoon, I'm just going to do that. Yeah, so now it's going to be a set, and I think it's going to look really good because the sweater has a very sort of 60s vibe, and pencil skirts are pencil skirts. So I think in the end, it's all going to come together and look amazing. So, I'm going to go order yarn, and I'll see you in a bit. Done. And gorgeous. So happy. Like, you do not even know the sound that came out of my mouth when I tied that bow. Super duper happy with it. The yarn looks exquisite. And the seaming was super easy because, so you can see it here. I just did a slip stitch seam, and you can see it under the arm, but then on the side, it blends in because it just looks like another back loop only row. So absolutely exquisite. Are you tip tapping? Yeah. Okay. She's tip tapping. And so happy with that. Nice, easy join. The neck join was very easy too. I actually had to come back and find it. It's right here. And that was a slip stitch as well. Just fit it right down the middle. The buttons, aren't these gorgeous? Like, here they are in person. Woo! Let me see if I can get a clear shot of them. The ring light's kind of, there we go. Yeah, so the buttons are doing great. I do have a slight problem with the buttonholes, as you can see right there. And that is an all the way down problem. They're all stretching a little bit. And also, the buttonholes are exactly 1 inch, and so are the buttons. And you would think, well, then it should fit perfectly. Well, they keep sliding out, which is why it is currently on Kenny and not on me, is because they're sliding in and out. So what I'm going to do actually is go in and tighten up all the buttonholes just a little bit to hopefully keep things closed. If that doesn't work, I'll figure out something else. So very, very happy with it. Other than that, buttonholes can be very tricky. It's one of those things where I think if I got them all perfectly centered on the buttonhole, they would stay in, but I didn't, so doing something else. Yeah, like just absolutely in love with it. So, whoop, got you right in the face with the light. Sorry about that. So, now to finish up, gonna get the buttonholes tightened up, and then I have to finish the skirt that I decided I'm making alongside it. I actually technically finished it a couple of days ago, but I made it too big. Which, given that it's my own tutorial I was following, is a level of hubris I did not know I could reach. Basically what happened is you're supposed to sort of fit it around you as you're working on it to make sure it is the fit it's supposed to be, and I was like, I don't need to do that. I've made this skirt half a dozen times. I should have done that. I literally had to frog out to the third increase because I had put 4 in because the last skirt I made had used 4. Different yarn though. And I was like, that will fix it. You know, I could just make it exactly that. No. So, yeah, basically having to remake the skirt right now. I've done all my fits. It's coming out great. It's going to look amazing. So the next part of the video, I hope, will be me fully dressed in the set and doing a little dance about it because it's going to look amazing. All right, I will see you in a few. Okay, brief pause before the big final reveal because I just got the buttonholes reinforced and I'm still having problems with them. So first of all, hold on. Gotta be careful. Right at the curve of the boob, this is gaping no matter what I do. And this is made to the 41-inch size, which is larger than my boobs. My boobs are 37 inches. This is supposed to be a little larger than that. So that's a problem. And then up here at the neck, this is the area where you join on the left side. But more importantly, oh yeah, so of course now the button has not been staying put, for the record. But of course now that I'm showing it to you, it's staying put. But it's slipping a little bit. And also I don't like that there is this open spot here. And I think maybe that's why when you look at the pattern photo, one of the ends is thrown over the shoulder. I think it's hiding that. And then actually, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I am going to come in where that gap is. Hold on. Like, I'm not slipping nip. I'm not going to slip nip. I'm going to sew this closed. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to line this up and sew it closed. And then I'm just going to have the bottom 3 buttons not open. So I will just slip it over my head to wear it. It'll look great. It won't, I won't drop a nipple in the middle of a work meeting, you know, very important things. But very annoying because I really like the pattern and I really like, I mean, this is what it looks like on a human body. It looks great, but a little more thought should have been put into the buttonholes. So now I'm going to go finish, hopefully, fixing the problem. And then you may actually get to finally see the pencil skirt with it. We are done! I can't get far enough back in the room to show you the entire skirt, but it is a skirt. And here's a photo of it on Kenny so you can see what the silhouette looks like. I don't know how well it's going to show up in the photo, but the last couple of inches of the skirt to match it more to the sweater, I worked in back loop only single crochet so that it could kind of match back up. I thought that was a good way to bring them together. Otherwise, it's single crochet waistband, double crochet all the way down. And as mentioned, I used my own tutorial to make it, and I've made a few edits to the tutorial, so I'm going to post the latest version on the blog. I'm also going to post it on my Ko-Fi, free both places. Just grab it if you want it, and it's meant to just kind of walk you through how to build to your measurements as opposed to trying to figure out if you have a very proportional shape or if you have more of like my shape, which is much more pear-shaped on the bottom half. So like my waist to my hips is pretty large. And then on the sweater, I didn't tie the bow back on. I did tie the bow back on again, and I just, it's heavy right at the neck, and I don't love that. So I'm doing more of the like continental scarf, very, very Joan from Mad Men, the whole look is. But I did sew up this piece here. Let me turn it, is where my boob was falling out. And so that is secure now. It's not moving. That's great. I also, up on the neck, if I can get myself undone here. Oh, I can lift it. So this top button, which was slipping in and out, is still holding, but I also went ahead and added a little Velcro attachment. You can see it there. I'm having trouble getting it open. This happens. Actually, it feels like it's probably coming loose. I was a little too quick to put this on when I said I should have let this set longer, but very easy. I have a bunch more. They're the little Velcro sticky backs. And so what I need to do is take this one off because it's coming off, put a new one on. You want to clothespin that and just leave it alone for a little while and it will hold pretty well. And I did that because I thought I had little metal snaps and I don't. So eventually I may end up putting the metal snap on instead of the Velcro because the Velcro can come loose over time. But who cares? Because right now we are victorious. I have a very dramatic top with an adorable pencil skirt and I feel great. So yeah, it's nice and cozy. This cotton merino from Juniper Moon Farms is, love it. It did build up a little differently than other yarns I've used for the skirt, so that's something I learned. I need to pay a little more attention to my sizing and not just assume I know how the yarn's gonna work. So yay. All right, I will have the link to the Interweave pattern down in the basement. And I remind you, Interweave patterns are like $8 each, but if you get a month of their membership, you can download as many patterns as you want for free. That membership is $10. Do with that information what you will. I will have the link to the buttons, and I will have a direct link to the updated tutorial on my blog and my, not my Ko-Fi, just the blog. I'll just send you the blog, and then it'll be there. And you can grab it there if you want it, but like I said, it'll also be on my Ko-Fi if, you know, you prefer to go there. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my Ko-Fi because like it's a really good place for me to put patterns because I don't have to go through the granulation of the Ravelry pattern upload, which I appreciate and respect, but it is a lot. It's a big process. Okay, yeah, so if you enjoy what I do here, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all of that fun stuff, and I will see you when I see you.